I am too stunned to speak. What was that at the end? You can't do that to me. There has been a name that's popped up in my comment section and my DMs hundreds of times, and that's Morissette Amon, who outside of the comments and the DMs that I've gotten, I have no idea who this is. I've never heard this voice before, so I'm so excited to listen today. All I know is she's Filipino, she's a singer and a songwriter. Let's dive right in.
I'm trying to hold to my breath.
Wish 1075.
Let it stay this moment. Can't let this moment end. You set off a dream with me, getting louder now. Can you hear it echoing?
I like this voice a lot. This is not an easy song to do, especially in the beginning because it's so low. And if you're not a low singer, you really have to feel it deep in your chest. A beautiful voice. I love it. I love a clear voice. Anytime a voice is clear and I can understand the text, that's going to allow me to understand the story more and just the whole package I enjoy much, much more. So I'm excited to hear how she handles the higher parts of this song, but beautiful so far. Let's keep going.
Take my hand, will you share this with me? 'Cause darling, without you, all the shine of 1,000 spotlights, all the stars we steal from the night sky will never be enough, never be enough. Towers of gold are still too little. These hands could hold the world, and it'll never be enough, never be enough for me.
Oh, yes. This is how you sing this song, ladies and gentlemen. That is how you do it. And we're only a minute 44 in, but I know already this is good. This is how it should be done. There's power in this voice. There's power in it. That's exactly what we want. So she's doing a lot of things right. How do you sing this song sitting down? She hasn't even really gotten to the hard part yet, but she's just singing with so much power and energy, and I love it. One thing you'll notice, look at those beautiful teeth, right? So when we show our front teeth, when we sing, we get a nice brightness in the sound, especially when we're doing musical theater. If the teeth get lost, then sometimes the sound just falls back into the body. And for musical theater, we need to be sending it out forward. That brightness in the teeth is so, so important. She's doing such a beautiful job of that.
'Cause darling, without you, all the shine of 1,000 spotlights, all the stars we steal from the night sky will never be enough, never be enough.
So right there, never be enough, never be enough. It's a little bit lower. We're getting to this really big dramatic moment, but she's soft in her sound first. She's setting us up for something really spectacular. And that's what you have to do with this song. If you want to do it well, that is to soften up, give us that light head voice, kind of lull us into a trance. And then when you want to belt it out, you can really drive it home. Because if we just belted this song, and if you don't know what belting is, I'm not even going to explain it. You'll hear it in just a moment. But if we're going to belt the entire time, it's pretty boring. And also, if we're going to be soft the entire time, it's also pretty boring. And if you know me and you know what I like in singers and in music, it's variety within a song. So we want some belting. We want some light, breathy singing. We want some low speech-like qualities. And so far, I've gotten all of that. She's checking all the boxes. So we'll keep going. And part of the reason this has like almost 80 million views, which is insane, is that she's mixing and matching. So you'll hear some belting here in a second.
Towers of gold are still too little. These hands could hold the world, and it'll never be enough, never be enough.
hear that? That's what belting is, right? And uneducated people, you're not one of them, but uneducated people, when they listen to, not necessarily this, because I don't think you would ever think that with this, but if they listen to, let's say, more amateur musical theater singers, they are like, oh, it's just yelling, it's yelling, it's yelling. And if they're amateur and they're still learning how to belt, then maybe it is some yelling. But do you hear how beautiful that is and how beautifully placed that is? And what I mean by placement is it sits perfectly in the voice. It's not too dark. It's not too nasally or bright. It's just perfectly in the middle. So this is a voice that I'm predicting has a ton of training. I don't know what her background is or anything, but it just sounds like a very well refined voice. And I like that a lot. I got to hear that belt again. Holy smokes.
Be enough, never be enough for me.
Little growl in there. Sorry to keep pausing again, but even in that 5-second clip, we can yield so many answers and potentially even more questions, which is interesting. But she gives us a little growl in there. Gives us a little grind there. Again, some variety. Yeah. So one other thing she's doing really well right now, I'm so excited about this voice, is she's giving vertical space in the mouth. Now, I'm not here to give a lecture on vocal technique or anything like that, or get into the nitty-gritty of that. We don't need to do that today. But one thing that's really helping her, and it'll help you too if you're a singer, is she's opening the mouth. It's so simple. I say this in many, many videos. Open the mouth, relax the jaw when you sing. Because if she goes never enough and gets too closed on those vowels, then she's not going to have the space that she needs to make really beautiful sounds. So she goes never enough. For me, for me, for me. And then even me, which is we consider kind of more of a spread vowel or a closed vowel, E, she's going to go meh. That's my prediction. When she does that big me, it's going to be meh. That's my prediction. Here we go. Let's keep going. Okay, I'm pausing right there to give myself a breather, but to give her a breather as well. Oh man, that is some intense singing. All from a seated position too, which is like, what does that mean for when she's standing up? Is there more that she can give? Oh, it's amazing. So, my prediction came true. I was right. Not trying to gloat, but I was right. She opened the mouth on the word me. And instead of going, for me, she went, for me. So brilliant. Singing is simple. It doesn't have to be complicated. In fact, as masterful and as beautifully as she's performing right now, nothing that she's doing in this video is complicated. To do it really well requires a great deal of skill and hard work and effort. And I think she's put a lot of effort into crafting her instrument. But the techniques are simple. So she opens the mouth more to get more space. And she's really got this fantastic coordination of the breath support and then all of the vocal mechanisms. They're all working in tandem to make this beautiful sound. Truly one of the most beautiful and natural voices that I've heard on this channel. And there's been a lot of really good singers, but this voice is up there for me. For me, for me. I've gone back a little bit here. And I want to appreciate, and I want you to appreciate too, the physicality in her singing, even though she's in a seated position. So imagine you're singing something that's so dramatic like this and just full of life and energy, if you're just kind of boring in your body and in your face, it's not going to translate. So even if I wasn't watching a video, if my eyes were closed, I would still get all of that raw emotion in the singing. So look at her arms, look at her body, look at her head tilting up to the sky. This is somebody that's passionate about singing and is passionate about telling stories as well. That's really, really critical.
Never be enough for me. Never, 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 never for me, for me. Never enough, never enough, never enough for me, for me, for me. All the shine of 1,000 spotlights, all the stars we steal from the night sky will never be enough, never be enough. Towers of gold are still too little. These hands can hold the world and it all.
Okay, so this is fantastic. What I'm loving too, and I'm really noticing now, is the effort and the attention to detail on the diction. The diction is so incredibly clear to me. It says online she was born June 2nd, 1996 in the Philippines. So I'm going to make the assumption that English is not her first language. And I never would have known that unless I had looked it up. Her diction is so absolutely perfectly clear. I love it.
Night sky will never be enough, never be enough. Towers of gold are still too little. These hands can hold the world and it'll never be enough, never be enough for me. Never, 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 never for me, for me. Never enough, never, never, never enough, never, never, never enough for me, for me.
Stop it.
For me.
Wish exclusive on Wish 1075.
I am too stunned to speak. What was that at the end? You can't do that to me. You can't throw in an opt up at the end. Come on. Huge round of applause. Oh my goodness gracious. One of my new favorite singers for sure. She's showing so much emotion and there's so much drama and passion in her performing, but there's no tension, right? So if she was singing with passion, but her shoulders are up like this and she was like all contorted and everything in her body, then that would be a problem because it's probably not a sustainable sound. This is just beautiful. She's got the passion and the emotion without all the extra baggage of trying to do too much, both dramatically, emotionally, but also physically as well. She's not trying to do too much. And I really admire that about her. And the fact that she can go into a radio station, Wish 107.5, I'm assuming in the Philippines, and sing like this live on a radio station while seated at a desk, that is unfair. That's just simply unfair. So talented. But let's not put the label of talented on an artist like this. That is disrespectful to the amount of work and effort and dedication she has to her craft as a singer, as a songwriter. I'm excited to hear some of her songs. Maybe you can leave some comments down below of what originals I could listen to of hers. That would be very helpful to me. You can also check out Buy Me a Coffee. If you want your recommendation to get bumped up to the top of the list, that's the place to go. But a beautiful voice. So where does the effort go then? Or where is the effort? Because to sing like that, you have to be doing some work. That's absolutely true. But it's not on the upper body really. It's actually down below to the lower abdominals. That's where all the work's happening. So every time she goes, never enough, and she really belts it up there, there's actually a lot of abdominal engagement happening. So just around the belt, she's squeezing in every time she has that really epic top note. I've gone back a few paces here, and I want you to pay attention to the tuning of all of this. This is live, and she's killing the tuning, especially on the never enoughs. That's very high. To sing that in tune is incredible. She's got this beautiful steely quality to her voice. I'm just obsessed with it. Listen to the tuning of this. It's so in tune. It's not flat. It's not sharp. It's perfectly in the middle. Ah.
Never enough, never enough, never enough for me, for me, for me.
So when she does that opt up at the end, she's not doing anything else physically other than she's sliding up in pitch, and then her lower abdominals are squeezing just that much more. And then she cuts it off when she needs to. Yeah, you'll also notice too, she doesn't always sing with vibrato. It's not all the time, but typically when she's holding a note, sustaining it for a long time, towards the end of the note, you get that little shimmer in there. It's helping her stay in tune, because once you get to the end of your breath, you're most likely that you're gonna go a little bit flat. So the vibrato kicks in to help you stay in tune, essentially. I'm gonna make another prediction that she might be anchoring herself a little bit. She might be pressing into the desk just that much more to give her more core stability. This is a singer, ladies and gentlemen. This is a singer. Let's let her finish it off here.
Wish exclusive on Wish 107.5.
And then just the most tender, soft, beautiful for me. Yeah, this is how this song should be sung. I've heard some questionable covers of this one because it's very hard. It's a hard one. It's high all the time. It's relentless. How many times did she sing never enough, never, never, never enough, never? It happens over and over and over again. So you have to be ready to do that. You have to have the stamina to be able to sing that. And Morissette, you can do it. So I think you know your homework. Morissette Amon recommendations flood my comment section. If you enjoyed this video, which I sincerely hope you did, you'll probably enjoy some of the videos popping up on your screen right now. That's going to be it for today's video. Thanks so much for watching, and we'll see you in the next video.